This is Lauren.
This is Trey.
And this
is the Partnership Podcast.
Ooh, hey, Partnership Podcast, it's me. It's been a tough couple of months. We are doing much better. Lauren and I talk about our nightly check-ins and how that's been huge. Lauren asks why men don't openly talk about their feelings. I respond with silence. And then it's just wall-to-wall penis talk. We have a vasectomy update. Enjoy.
But yeah, if I get the new chairs, that might change it too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I feel like we had something we wanted to talk about today. That like we started talking about last night or this morning. That I was like, ooh, we should talk about that on the pod. That's us with everything.
Welcome to the Partnership Podcast, the hottest podcast on the internet. To the 12 people that are listening to this, thank you so much. Make sure and like and subscribe, and we'll be prepared next time, possibly.
Possibly. Well, let's do a check-in first, and then I'm sure something will come up. How are you doing? Yeah,
really good.
We've had such a journey.
Yeah, such a journey since October the 6th, my birthday. No, really, really good. Like, real healing is going on. It's continuing. We do nightly check-ins, any ouch moments, any moments that bring you joy, which is so fun. And it's the little things, too, where it's like, yeah the coffee was good. Mm-hmm. And then I'm adding people to my team. I brought on like a coach, or another word for that is a doctor or a therapist. I like to call her a coach. Yeah. So yeah, we had a 20-minute consult yesterday, and I hop on. I do bi-weekly Zoom things in January.
Can we actually? Yeah. Can I push into some questions I have around this?
Push away.
Push it. We've been making jokes all morning that the other one doesn't actually find funny. Anyway, it's got me in the giggles. Mm-hmm. I'm good with it. I'm good with being in the giggles in these chairs.
We've had a lot of sex, and then I say, and boy, my arms are tired.
That
and then the joke is the joke is 50 years ago on, I don't know, the Ed Sullivan Show, I flew into town and boy, my arms are tired. Once upon a time, that joke killed.
Well, that's because I flew into town. Mm-hmm. Yeah, is like, this would be flying.
Correct.
But saying we've had a lot of sex, boy, my arms are tired, I understand the reference, but I just wish it was like, and
better?
My genitals are tired, or my glutes are tired from like the...
Sure, that would be literal, though. That would be on the nose.
But my arms are tired from flying is literal and on the nose.
Okay, well, this is the opposite. This is the inverse. I flew into town, and boy, my cock is tired.
That's not funny either.
Somebody out there's laughing.
They're laughing at us.
And in the little men in my head, the little...
Well, we know
like,
them.
We like the man. We like that joke. You said cock. Yeah, whenever I audibly say cock, it's...
It's like back to middle school.
It brings me joy.
Giggling. Yeah.
Penis. Penis!
Lauren and Trey will just do this in public.
Let's get back to this one.
Let's get back to the serious topics. Thank you for finding the subject that I wanted to talk about. This concept of bringing in helpers, right? Seeking outside service providers, outside experts in their field to accompany you in partnership. Mm-hmm. And I was just kind of thinking about how many individuals we've worked with, and I wanted to talk about the like richness in that. But then I also want to talk about there's still so much, discomfort with therapy and coaching and that type of a thing with so many people still. So many people.
Especially in the straight guys.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say it, but I was hoping you would. I don't know.
The gays are all about it.
From your straight guy perspective, why? Why is there still such a resistance, outwardly or inwardly, to to therapy, counseling, coaching? Why? I don't even want to get into like.
I don't know. I think it's so individual, but it's probably the same joke that like men never ask for directions. Well, this was 20 years ago before GPS. And boy, my arms are tired. And So it's the same thing where it's like, I will fix this on my own. I think it's that, but I think that's very human as well.
Yeah.
Where it's, I will fix this on my own, or I don't need it, or there's like shame involved. Like when I met with my consult, she goes, well, we need to talk about your mom, because I was the one who brought it up, where a lot of my a lot of my childhood trauma comes from my mother. And there was a huge wall of resistance in my body that I could feel as I was in the Sam's Club parking lot talking via Zoom on my phone. This, because I've never processed this professionally in my adult life, which is fucking wild. So, and also I've gotten this far and I've been successful at it. It's like, hey, and so another one of those things is I can see totally why, the straight males would say, I don't need to talk about that, or I don't talk about that. Yeah. And I could go about life actually really successful not talking about my fucking mother too. But I would like to get into it because in my body it's very scary to me. So I'm down for that.
Okay, but push into very successful. Do you feel like we had reached a point in our partnership where it was starting to affect our dynamic? My
mom? No. But like my shit? Yes. But does that stem from my mom? Yes. And that's why we're playing chess. This ain't checkers. Make sure and like and subscribe.
I hear you. And I love Betty Dodson, I think, said that, when it comes to sex, women are conditioned to fear sex. Men are conditioned to fear failing sex. I agree that in this culture especially, we still have, in all cultures, we have gender stereotypes. And I think one of them for men that breaks my heart so much is this concept of like, pull yourself up by the bootstraps, figure it out, protect and provide for the people you love. That shit doesn't matter. You've got a purpose. Like,
push it all down.
Push it all down. And
it's very American, and it's very like we're starting to kind of phase that out, but it's very prevalent in the generations before us. Maybe in the 2 generations before us. What are we? 2 or 3 generations away from World War II, right? Because our parents were raised. I'm 39. I'm almost 40. I'm a man. But my father was raised by a World War II veteran, and he came back, and he was I think a drunk and an abuser and a womanizer. And then my mother was raised by a World War II Navy man who came back, and he was a degenerate gambler, a drunk, and a womanizer. He was successful, like he had a plane once upon a time, but I mean, fuck that. That's who our parents were raised by, the men that they saw. And then these women had to submit to it. So what does that mean? I don't fucking know, but we are so close to that.
Close to it.
They were fighting Hitler.
Right.
Fucking Hitler.
And talk about the trauma, right? That wasn't given proper outlet, right?
Yeah.
No wonder coping
Well, that was
mechanisms.
pull you up by the bootstraps. It's like, hey, figure it out. Now that you're back.
Exactly.
Now
right?
that you've seen, war crimes and atrocities and your buddy's blown to bits. Hey, welcome back. Figure it out.
Yeah. So to your
That's
point.
why I'm on the internet talking about my feelings. Because, I didn't go to war.
No, but again, like you said, so close to the learned patterns and behaviors of those who did.
Yeah.
Right.
And then what's Fight Club like? The modern man, our war is in our mind.
No, I found that statement that you had said a couple minutes ago just about, I could be very successful. I mean, call me crazy. I just think.
Well, I have been. Like, it's proven. I've proven the model of, I have been, but now it's time to be even more successful.
Okay, I'm not questioning your success at loving me. Okay, so
I
please
did cut you off.
You did.
I did cut you off.
Defensiveness high. Okay, yeah. I believe that I see in this work that I get to do. That I think we can be successful to a point. And that the longer we get to exist inside of healing partnerships, the more safe our bodies feel, the more we start to get to show some of our ugly and have an opportunity, if we want, to heal it and work through it, to continue to be as successful. I think that anybody who's gotten to know anyone, a friend, a coworker, a lover, whatever, in the early stages of relationship, you're not showing as much of yourself, right? We show more of ourselves over time. That is human nature. That's wisdom. I think in our relationship, what did our coach say? We said this last time. We're very effective and efficient at digging into each other. That we're 4.5 years into this relationship, and yet we are uncovering stuff that many people take much longer to uncover.
We can fuck each other up.
Yeah.
Which is beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Because there's a big layer of trust in between us.
Yeah. I think that some of these things that we are working through right now weren't ours to work through early on in our relationship because we weren't showing each other these two true colors then. I think in the courting phase, we're trying to trying to show the other the best of ourselves, right? Of course. And I try to show you the best of me all the time. It's just what happens in the human process of I feel safe with you. Mm-hmm. And so my insecurities start to come out, right? Or you're with me more of the time. So you're starting to see these ebbs and flows of the development of me, right? And I don't know, other things. We talked about it last time. This like blow to my self-worth happened. It's nothing to do with you, but it affected you because you're my partner, right? And then we start to see us kind of trigger, for lack of a better word, each other's coping mechanisms and see where the wounds that have yet to be healed are. So I agree with you. You've been very successful. You have loved me phenomenally. And I think that taking out of the closet some of these things that have never been looked at as an adult, like you so accurately said, will be transformational for our relationship. Yeah. When you texted me and said, kind of getting on the books for January, I told you last night, this wave of relief rushed over me. And excitement and thrill.
Good.
Like this sacral yes came over me of this is your work to do. We always say there's your work, my work, and our work. This is your work to do. And as a person who so enjoys watching other people grow too, I also got so excited to be so turned on by the growth, even the struggle, right? Because I think she said, and I definitely in my intense therapy days, I needed hours after therapy to even sort through what just happened in my therapy work. Because it's it's taking everything out and laying it on the kitchen table and being okay, where do you fit now? What do I need to heal to go forward as a loving, compassionate human? And that's tough. That's not easy. It's not. But I get very excited at not going at this alone, not going at this next chapter of our love story alone.
I'm excited at not going at it alone, where I get to talk about my successes and failures with somebody. Yes, granted, they're a professional. Yes, granted, I'm paying them, but that's where I'm at right now because, baby, you have people that you really trust that you can process out things when it comes to our relationship that are non-professionals, your friends. I don't really have that. And I don't know if a lot of men have that. I've got good friends, but do I necessarily admire where they're at relationally? And do we have that type of trust? Because what you want is you want to seek out, I think other men want to seek out advice from other men where they really admire their relationship. So I'm not going to go to my single buddies, or I'm not going to go to my buddies that I don't really like how they model partnership. So just currently, that's where I'm at. Is it going to change? I don't fucking know. But yeah, I'll go pay for it.
I wonder if we've talked about this before, kind of the universe gives us more of what we're asking for.
It's a reflection.
Yeah.
And
so I wonder sometimes, because therapy opened me up to start allowing other relationships that treat me as well as my therapist did.
Yeah, we're like other dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, other straight dudes
I got
come
you, okay, through the work I did in therapy. If I had not done that, I would not have been open to individuals who could hold space for me as well as my therapist did. Right? Because they model what healthy listening looks like. Yes, I know it as a professional. I know there are, like, I don't want other people out there to be freaking out.
They better fucking model what healthy listening
They
looks
better,
like.
right? We're paying them for it. And and asked me questions that challenged me, that literally changed my life. I mean, changed my fucking life. Then I started looking for friendships that challenged me as much as that, right? And let go of friendships that did not. The amount of friendships I let go of in therapy.
Yeah.
That she looked at me and was like, why are you calling them a friend?
It also correlated with like a bunch of religious stuff, yeah?
It did for me. But I think regardless, all of us are going through, hopefully, this spiraling up experience, right? Like all of us are hopefully growing. And regardless of they're leaving religious indoctrination like I did. So I'm excited for you, because I think there are stages in our lives where we level up and then we're like, oh, can't go back. You've experienced them. I've experienced so many of them. And it's uncomfortable, but it's great. You said something last night that I wanted to talk about this too. You said, I'm excited for certain aspects of my life to be celebrated as well. And I think so often we look at coaching, therapy, counseling, and we're like, oh, they're just going to tell me all the things I'm doing wrong in my life. I would say one of my greatest joys as a sexuality educator is the moment a client sits down and they're like grinning, and I'm like, what? And they're like, I want to tell you about the amazing sex I had last night.
Exactly.
And I'm like, tell me, because so often we don't have that either. So yeah, expound on that, because you shared a little bit about how you're excited to be celebrated too for like everything.
Yeah, you got to celebrate the highlights.
Yeah.
I mean, guys, we're here to celebrate the highlights too, not just talk about our problems. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to get started.
Yeah, I think in my world too, we talk about finding sex positive counselors, therapists, this type of thing. And this is a colleague of mine who is 100% sex positive too. And it's a piece of us. It just is. And for those out there who might not know, LPCs, marriage and family counselors, like people who go the traditional route of therapy, only get 9 hours of human sexuality work. So I have so many clients who come to me, which I'm thrilled, because they're not comfortable talking about their sexuality with their therapist. So I would just encourage anybody listening or watching this to, I don't know, push in. Does your therapist have experience talking about all things sexual? If so, talk with them, celebrate your sexy times. If not, seek out an additional piece of help and support, because you deserve to be celebrated for your sex. You deserve to get to talk about your sex as a piece of your healing journey.
I bet it would freak the fuck out of most like standard issue therapists if you brought that up, right?
It does.
Yeah,
and
freak the fuck out of them.
Yeah, I should have my clients. I think I have some written testimonials. I should read them on camera sometime, because they'll say, like, I've been with my therapist whom I love for this many years. I have never told them fill in the blank.
Yeah.
And we all deserve safe, inclusive places to share our sluttiest things and our most fun things and our challenges and what we want out of this sexual life that we get to live too. And so it's really fun when you can find it in someone like this colleague of mine that you have found. Like, you have a gem.
Yeah.
And I'm great being like, I always say it's a triad approach with my clients, right? They are the top of this little triangle. Their therapist or their medical provider who referred me is the other piece of the triangle, and then there's me. I'm so good being this triad and supporting the work my clients are doing with their therapists. It feels so aligned with me. Like, we just talk about the sexy stuff, and then I refer them to their therapist.
Tight. Okay, check in with you. How are you doing? How are we doing?
I want to answer this like truthfully, so just taking a second. Yeah, I feel like the image that just came to mind is when you build like a temporary bridge or something. Like, the bridge between us broke, and it was a necessary bridge to be broken, and we've reconstructed this like temporary structure from one side to the other while we are rebuilding like a really, really, like while we were bringing in engineers to like really build the next phase of this really cool bridge. You know how in Long Beach there's that new one, the new fancy bridge, and you always tell me about the older bridge and yada yada. Things get to be improved, right? We have better engineering, we learn more, and that's what I felt like. Like there's obviously clear communication, right? These like back and forth. We're having the best sex ever. Yeah, I feel at peace, at home. I love our check-ins, all this type of stuff. And yet I feel like out of my periphery, I can see like the new structure being built. Like I can see, which I think makes me feel okay on this temporary structure.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I can tell, okay, this is not forever. We're about to level up. And I'm so excited. Like I'm so excited about the new bridge. Like really excited.
Cool. And would you say that we're installing the patience into not knowing like when it's going to be completed? Great.
Like this temporary structure feels good. It feels safe. Like, it's like this will last a year or something like that, you know? And I feel good with that. It's like, no, you needed this so that the construction could really go on with this other new piece of engineering, because it needs time and patience, but the temporary structure was necessary. I feel like we have so many really cool tools right now, and that feel, whether it's our nightly check-ins, doing ouch moments, and we're really, when you ask me any ouch moments today, we both really think about them, and it's been fun. You shared one last week or something that was literally, it was a miscommunication moment. It was a misunderstanding, and we got to clarify that. And I thought, gosh, this is so helpful, because if not, we would have just gone on, because it was not an intentional. I didn't mean to hurt you. And we got to clarify, and like in the evening together, I don't even remember what it was, but I remember thinking, gosh, glad we cleared that one up.
Can I share a check-in?
100%.
Where you're not getting hit with anything. And no surprises. There's no surprises right now.
Did my stomach drop?
No.
Yep.
No surprises, baby. I love our check-ins too, because it was a couple of days ago where I was like, hey, Lauren, do you want to have sex this morning? Yes or no? And she's like, yeah. And then your day got busy and you had to do all this stuff. And you had to prioritize your day and work and things like that. And I had to do a check-in with self where I was like, is this an ouch moment? And then within me, no. Where it's like, no, because I love my partner to be completed with all of those things so she can actually enjoy the sex versus it being some type of like obligation. And so, like, genuinely within me, it's like, no, she's busy. And I have a very healthy masturbatory practice as well. I shoot ropes.
Thank you. I'm so glad.
But they're short ropes now because I had a vasectomy.
Oh, tell the people.
Yeah, I mean, I had a vasectomy.
No. Update. Oh, my God.
Yeah, the orgasm, they're just not as strong.
Yeah, still feels that way. I was more, oh my God.
Because before it's like,
this story.
Ah!
And now it's
like, oh. That's all.
I'm so curious to see if that continues to be the factor, if like over time they build back up. No, I wanted you to tell this story. Okay, so 6 weeks post vasectomy, you are supposed to bring a semen sample.
Disgusting.
To the urologist's office for them to look at semen under a microscope. But this
is what life is like when you get older? It just gets more embarrassing at times. God bless.
I think I do not mean this is like a sexist comment. I simply mean, as people with vulvas and uteruses, we've been doing this type of thing since we were like so little. Like,
like embarrassing.
Yeah, like poked and prodded and our genitals on display and probes stuck up in us. And right, like so many people have really heavy periods and so have been like in and out of doctor's offices since they were like teens.
Fucking stinks.
Yeah. And so I think I don't mean to diminish your experience, because actually maybe it was more because you hadn't had as many.
You can diminish. You can be sexist. This is a safe space for sexism.
So, welcome, motherfucker. Welcome.
Nice. Hey, good job, babe. Okay, so I had to come in a cup because they needed to check it to see if I had any active shooters, and so they say like, hey, you got to drop it off. It's really funny. I talked to the nurse, and she goes, we do need a fresh sample, but not like parking lot fresh. Which I just laughed out loud. And it made her day because she's like, I'm fucking funny. Like that was a great moment.
Parking lot fresh, y'all. This is just what I got in my mind. These little, like, you could drive up into a parking space, okay? And then there's a privacy screen that you pull around your car. And then there's a little, like, bank teller deposit thing. Okay, and you pull out of it some sexy images of your choosing. You put them on your steering wheel. You jerk off into this. How big is the cup?
Just a standard, like a shot glass.
Shot glass. You jerk off into the shot glass, which that's hard too. I can imagine like aiming. It's kind of taking you out of the moment.
Correct.
So anyway, jerk off into the shot glass. Then you put it in the shoop.
Yeah.
And then it goes over. This is what I had in my mind for parking lot fresh. But also I had thought they've got to have had people do that before, and that's why they have to say that.
100%. This is what I have in my mind, where I'm masturbating in my car, no tinted windows. The police show up, boop, boop. And then I'm like, no, I've been medically prescribed to masturbate in my car. This is medical. Okay, so I masturbate inside of a cup, and yeah, like the orgasm is like when you're aiming inside of a plastic cup. It's just like, this is disgusting. I close it up. They tell me to put it in like a brown bag, like a lunch bag, which is like smart. But I don't have one of those, so I just put it in one of those So I walk into the doctor's office with like a gift bag. And it's around Christmas. And so it's like I'm dropping off, here's a present. And then I think I'm putting it through like a discreet, like, I don't know, like shelf or drawer or something. No, I walk up to the receptionist where you fill out your fucking paperwork, and then, swear to Christ, they hand me a clear plastic bag, and they're like, put it in here. In the waiting office, and just in my mind, I go, this is disgusting. You people are sick. And so I give her my sperm, and then I leave.
Semen.
Huh?
Your semen, there weren't, yeah.
My dead sperm. Yep. I'm still right. And I give her my dead sperm, and then I get a call saying, like,
no sperm.
You're semen free, Trey. Bum, bum, ba-dum.
He just flipped those for the audience who are confused.
Huh?
He gave them semen. They called and said, no sperm. That's okay. I love you. So anyway.
There's my seed. My dead seed.
The surgery was successful.
Yeah.
It was.
It was tight.
It was tight.
Yeah.
But I just, not parking lot fresh.
When are you going to take your IUD out?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, when are you going to rip that thing out?
Okay, that's a horrifying thing to think about, that word, rip it out. But I will have it removed, or I will
I had a needle put in, or excuse me, I had what's it called? A scalpel put into my sack, honey. Mm. Was that offensive? Was that offensive words?
Anyway, that was just a random update. I feel like that took us off track. You asked how I was. Ooh. Why did I think of that story? I don't know. The sex has been great. I feel great. Maybe that's why. Yeah, the check-ins have really been helpful. I think I am less worried about tallies. I'm less worried about things like building up over the day, because I know that every night we're kind of going to do a check-in.
Okay, that's really important. Catching up, I tally, but I'll tally over like a day or a week or 2 weeks, and then I'll bottle and I'll tally, and then it'll finally kind of explode into like, I'm upset. Yeah. And then I didn't know why I was upset in the past. But now that it's like, yeah, I don't bottle anymore. It's been very important. And yes, it's a little scary to like share these ouch moments when they happen, but it's so much better than collecting them.
Yeah.
And like using them against you. And then martyring or over-functioning for me. I can go over-functioning where I just run around and do a bunch of fucking tasks. And then a lot of times I'm like an anticipatory waiter where you didn't ask me to do this shit. And then it's like, but you're not asking me to curate like a wonderful experience, like a fucking dinner or something. I was a waiter in the past.
He was an excellent one.
Like and subscribe.
We laughed because one of the first times you have done your not asking was last night. And so I love, if y'all haven't tried them, highly recommend. Wish I could get an affiliate code. This company, Juneshine, that makes hard kombucha. I love these. They are my like preferred, fun, hard drink. That sounded ridiculous. Alcoholic beverage. They're
and you
my
can
preferred.
slam like 4 or 5 of these things, and the hangover is not that bad in the morning. A little bit of sugar, but it's like it's supposed to be good for you. I don't fucking know.
I love the flavor. They are such a pleasurable drinking experience for me, and I really, really enjoy it. So I had been out all day. It was my like day off yesterday. And so while I was finishing up my errands, I ordered a like Instacart delivery to the house for breakfast things for this morning and some hard kombuchas for myself. And I was concerned that I wasn't going to make it home in time for the delivery person. And when you order alcohol, they need to like scan your ID, which makes sense. So I texted you and asked for help. That's another thing I'm really trying to do these days because, again, that's consensual. And you said, yeah, but you were a little cheeky. And I was like, I wonder why he's being cheeky. And then I got home, not in a mean way, like in a cute way. And then sure enough, I get home and you open the fridge. And what had you done?
I got kombuchas. I didn't ask permission. Yeah. It's like, can I serve you and get kombuchas?
And so, but it was just cute because he does, the point of this was you do anticipate needs really well. As was presented so clearly, right? Like you knew not only did I have no kombuchas, it was my day off. I would probably want to have a kombucha when I got home. But what we're starting to see is that I can meet my own needs. I really can.
Oh, honey, when you work all day, you want to have a kombucha when you get home too.
Yeah. No, I do. It's like, but you just know, like you do anticipate that and you do notice, but you've gotten so much better at not just swooping in there and doing it. I'm sure you were already at the grocery store or something like that.
I wanted peanuts and dark chocolate.
I don't think you went out of your way, but it just was the first time. Like I giggled at
turkey jerky. I got some turkey jerky as well.
I was like, what is he trying to remember?
Snack time tray, baby. I like my snacks. I got in the tub, watched a little NFL, ate turkey jerky and peanuts and chocolate. You gotta make sure and like and subscribe.
It's a quality podcast here.
QPC.
Yeah, but the tally thing, we've been talking about this a ton recently. I have ugly sides,
We all do.
I am not above reproach.
No.
And so
you can be a real pain in the ass sometimes.
Yes. So these opportunities, these nightly check-ins are so important because I do out you, right? Like I do
100%.
Unintentionally or intentionally harm you. And I would like, hopefully, I'm addressing it in the moment if I know, but if I don't know, I would like the agency to take accountability for it.
I opened my eyes at her like my eyes get a little sticky. I open my eyes. Lauren doesn't like the bags under my eyes either. She thinks they look like ball sacks.
I have never once said that.
No, it was from Crazy Stupid Love.
Okay.
I'm stealing valor.
You were also like not letting me finish my thought. It's cracking me up. I appreciate the opportunity to take accountability and have agency over my actions once a day and not fear that everything's fine, except it's not. So I'm really appreciating it.
Because she doesn't want me to bottle either. She wants to hear it.
Yes. It's scary. It's scary to be on the other side of a bottler. It's like that pressure is going to build and it's going to explode on me and not in a sexy way.
That was hot. I'm ready to have sex again after that.
Yeah, and I'm really liking our celebrations too because when we did our human design reads, both of us found out that we're both verbal processors. And saying stuff out loud at the end of a day is really good for me because it's this like moment to really reflect on all the beauty that was in my life. And I think that is helping just as much as the ouches of saying, oh, look at all this beauty that was in our lives today. Like, look at that. And then sharing it with one another. And sometimes we've been together for the day. Most of the days we have not. Like, this is, we usually record on Wednesdays. Yeah, this is like the biggest chunk of time we usually spend together during the weeks. And it's real special. It's really special. So, yeah, I'm excited. I think in listening back to last week's episode, You know, the Reiki that I got too was just as healing and transformational for me too. And I think it was just a reminder. And even a good friend of mine had said, like, that should be on your calendar monthly. And I was like, uh-huh.
Cool.
And in the past, ironically, it was almost a mistake that we got off balance with the amount of like our regular rhythm. Because Reiki for me is just so beautiful because it puts me inside, and then it also gives somebody else the opportunity to sit there and say things like, you are getting involved in silliness and you need to stop it.
Yeah, good.
Stop it.
Good. Yeah, shout out to Elle.
Yeah.
She's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, I miss them.
Yeah. We are so fortunate, and I want to say this again out loud to the universe, to have individuals who speak into our lives. And I want to increase that. You know, I went out to dinner with Wednesday last Wednesday, so after we had recorded, and was telling her about, you know, things I had brought up on the podcast, and she looked at me and was like, why did you do that? You know, and then she was the one who said, you need time alone, and you needed to make sure you tell Trey that it is not his doing that you need time alone. You need time alone because that's how you built. And I want more of that in our lives, loving truth.
Mm-hmm.
And
I want more of that too, where it's like you communicate your needs with me, and then you say like, hey, can you help? Or it's like, hey, I got to figure this out on my own, but I'm just letting you know this is what's going on with me. Because again, we go out into the world and we don't always ouch each other. It's not always directly us. The world, that happens too.
Yes.
Other family members,
Yep.
kids, parents, co-workers, somebody that cuts you off on the road. This type of stuff it's fucking hard.
Yeah.
Anything else, babe?
No, I think it's good. You ready to be done? Oh, guys, I hope you watch the videos. It's hilarious. Thanks for coming to this episode of the Partnership Podcast. I think it's episode 52. I don't know. I'm glad you're here. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. If you're on Spotify, yeah, you can give us a ranking. You can leave feedback. You can do all the fun things. If you're on Apple Podcasts, you can also do the same thing.
Somebody put in the comments, Trey talks about his penis too much.
Are you serious? Wait, you want somebody to do that? I was like, you don't read the comments.
Edit that. No. Edit that out. Cut it out.
Somebody should do that, I'm sure. No, when you do those things, it helps more people hear the content, which is amazing. And that's awesome. And I love it. If you're like, wait a second, I want to talk about the sex I'm having and make the sex I'm having better, or the relationship dynamics that you two do, I want to talk to somebody like that. I do that. You can go to sexedforyou.com/free consult. You can request a free consult. Make sure to put in there what exactly you are interested in working on in this season, and Holland will approve or deny your request. Please remember that we support your informed decision making. These are decisions that we come to for our partnership. They are unique to us. We encourage you to take what you like from this podcast and leave the fucking rest. Yeah, make your own decisions. These are our opinions. They are just opinions. Have a great rest of your day. Yeah, you can follow us on Instagram at Partnership Podcast, or my Sex Ed For You account. Talk to you soon. Bye.